Oh, that's a wrong button. Yeah, let's just skip. Okay. Let us continue. I knew we wouldn't be doing any club activities after school today before Mion even said anything. I've been invited over by Shion for an all-you-can-eat dessert. I made a point of leaving half my lunch uneaten. My expectations would only be rivaled by my hunger. Keiichi-kun, you seem kind of happy today. Did something good happen? Did it? By the way, I completely forgot. And I guess it was obvious. Rena had questioned me with a happy look. That's right, why don't I invite Rena for dessert as well? No, if I recall correctly, Shion said something about having a ticket. At first, the restaurant might be admission by ticket only today. If that was the case, then having Rena be turned away at the door would result in the worst feeling ever. Yeah, I got a little lucky. I'll tell you about it tomorrow. Rena, you'll definitely be jealous. Whoa, what is it? I'm jealous. This lucky thing, is it cute, is it? Cute. I wonder what Rana would think of the uniforms at Angel Mort. They'd definitely be a critical hit. I have no clue how it will go. Probably swimmingly with no problems whatsoever. There's definitely nothing, like no needles in the food or anything like that. Of course, that's not gonna happen this time around. Probably. It's probably pretty cute. I'm jelly. What is it? What kind of fortune were you blessed with? Huh? Could it be you participated in the draw at Angel Mort about 2 months ago? And won? Hey now, I hadn't even transferred here 2 months ago. Oh, that's right. Then it's not the Angel's Dessert Festa then. Angel's Dessert Festa. Michan, what exactly is the Angel's Dessert Festa exactly? You know there's that family restaurant called Angel Mort right by Okinomiya Station. Every season they hold an event to promote their new dessert menu. Yes, this is going to be interesting to see, like, I have no recollection of the anime, so, or very little recollection of the anime, so it's going to be, like, and this is my first time playing through the game, so it's going to be cool seeing all of the, well, everything. Every season they hold an event to promote their new dessert menu. That's today. Oh, it's no use going. The restaurant is reserved for people who won the draw. Mion explained once again what Shion explained to me last night. Rena will have to stop by the restaurant sometime. I will do my best to draw a winning ticket and aim to enter the next all-you-can-eat event. Haha, knock yourself out. By the way, this is just something I heard, but there's a rumor that the tickets are being sold on the black market for a pretty penny. Hearing that story, I felt even more appreciative of the ticket that Shion had procured for me. I just thought I was lucky to be able to eat dessert for free, but it turned out that that ticket was much more valuable. The number of things I had to thank Shion for had increased again. Thanks. I didn't know it was worth so much. I whispered in a voice only Mion could hear. That was how I conveyed my feelings. Mion looked at me for a moment before she tilted her head to the side and smiled confusedly. What? Did you say something? It would be a problem if you said something to me right now. That smile seemed to be telling me as much. I guess Mion wouldn't be accepting any gratitude while she was Mion. Angel Mort Black Market. We'll make a pretty penny with this. I'll go to the restaurant. Today I'll thank Mion while she's Shion. Well then, this old man will take his leave here. That work today is gonna be a little rough. Later. Mion waved her hand energetically as she left. Hey Keiichi-kun, Michan has been kind of weird lately. Like she's elated or something. What? You think so? Rena was pretty sharp when it came to these types of things. To me, Mion seemed the same as always, but Rena apparently felt something different. You don't know, Keiichi-kun? I totally thought you knew. Rena's skirt fluttered as she spun round with a coy smile. You know what exactly? I was obviously weaseling my way out of the question, but I wasn't lying. Honestly, I didn't really know what was going on. Why did Shion, a persona of Mion that she'd created, appear before me? Something was blatantly up, but Rena paid it no heed. Oh really? I wonder what it is then. When Michan is in good mood, so is Rena. Oh. Saying that, she spread her arms wide and spun around happily. I didn't know why, but Rena was in a really good mood. It was so infectious that I had to smile too. Even the chirping of the cicadas seemed joyful. But you see, Rena abruptly stopped spinning. Her expression had returned to a more somber one. You see, Michan, lately, she's been in a lot of pain. What do you mean? Pain? The pain that Rena was talking about probably wasn't physical. At first she tried to pretend it wasn't a big deal, but like a wound, it began to fester and grow. Eventually she was no longer able to bear the pain and woke up in the middle of the night. Then she phoned Rena. Michan was crying. I'm sorry. What are you talking about? What am I talking about, huh? What is Rena talking about? What? Hey, don't play dumb with me. Just now you said... I don't know. Rena doesn't know anything. Oh. Rena spun as she laughed innocently. Eventually she appeared to get sick, stumbling as she steadied herself with her hand against the wall. Oh, the room is spinning. That was dumb. That's what you get for getting carried away and spinning like that. Sorry. Oh, I think I feel sick. I lent the ditch a shoulder to lean on. To be stumbling around like a newborn foal at this age is actually quite the feat. Rena, in a good mood, only babbled incoherently after that. I laughed as I responded to and chided her. However, the chance to revisit that heavy topic Rena had brought up before never arrived. As soon as I got home, I tossed aside my school bag and changed it in a hurry. The effects of only having a light lunch were starting to show, as my stomach began to let out fickle growls. Alright, let's go. Aim to Angel Mode. It's time to face the land of the endless desert. Preparations for battle are complete. So tally ho! Tally ho! Angel Mode had a decidedly different feel to it compared to yesterday. Desert Fiesta today, admittance by reservation only. Nonetheless, the front of the store was being swarmed by over a dozen young men. Judging by how they were looking upwards in jealousy instead of entering the store, they were invitees. Why would they gather here if they knew they couldn't get in? I found the answer when I passed through the crowd and began to climb up the steps to enter the restaurant. Are you a participant? Do you have a ticket? Yeah, well, I was lucky. As soon as I said that, I was immediately mobbed. It was like being in the middle of a football scrum at a crowded train. What is going on? Their reason was this. It wasn't just one ticket per person. One ticket could let up to 4 people inside. So it's like that, huh? It seems like I should have invited Rena and the others. Thanks for the tip. But I'll pretend I didn't hear that. With an uplifting smile, I turned and ignored them. When I did, their arms all reached out at once, like the souls of the damned seeking sucker. Okay, you didn't miss all that much. Probably. That ticket can admit up to 4 people. Please bring us with you. What selfish people. This was the only reason they were crowded in front of the restaurant. Dozens of wretched arms reached out for me like the teeth of a giant rake and grasped at the air. I was already climbing the stairs to the entrance. What a heartless dick! Grab him! This isn't something to joke about. I flew up the rest of the stairs and threw myself inside the restaurant. It was like I had entered a different world. The miserable throng of the damned hurled curses at me from the other side of the glass door. But inside of this completely soundproofed and air-conditioned restaurant, with the angelic smile of a waitress to welcome me, they were nothing more than a refreshing piece of scenery. I knew that I shouldn't laugh, but I began to let out a sinister cackle. Good afternoon, welcome to Angel Mort. Due to today's Desert Fiesta, the restaurant is reserved for customers who want a draw. Could I ask for your name and ticket? I don't have a ticket, but I should be on the guest list. My bara. There it is. I'm sorry, but may I please have your full name? Keiichi Maibara. My apologies for the inconvenience. You're here by special invitation, right? I'll show you to your seat. Please this way. The mood inside the room was incredibly heated. The booths were packed to the brim. Men in their prime were stuffing their faces with dainty desserts that didn't suit them at all. It was a rather unnerving spectacle. Soon after I was shown to my seat, Shion arrived. Good afternoon, welcome to Angel Mort. Hey Shion, thanks so much for today. I really appreciate it. You were a bit late, so I was getting worried. I'm really happy you came though. It may have been because other customers were around that her tone was less casual, but she still capped off that welcome with her usual brilliant smile. As you can see, there's a lot of customers here today. I'm not sure I'll be able to take a break. Let's have the updated picture. It looks quite nice. I'm sure I'll be able to take a break. Please take your time and relax until I'm finished. When I'm done, let's go play somewhere, okay? Oh, you mean that kind of play? I mean, whispering just that last part into my ear, Shion winked and returned to the kitchen. Maybe it was because the mood in the restaurant was so heated, but Shion seemed a bit bolder. Even a small change in her mannerism was enough to set my heart aflutter. There we go. Okay, well, hopefully it'll hold this time around. This will be an interesting event to witness. Probably. I would presume so. Sorry to keep you waiting. While I was overwhelmed by the atmosphere inside the restaurant, orders from the new summer menu were carried out one after another. Every single was extravagantly huge. I get it. You can eat all of these amazing things for free. Free with 3 E's. No wonder a ticket was worth its weight in gold. On top of that, all of it was plenty delicious. From dishes with general appeal to insane ones aimed at a specific audience, there were absolutely no gaps in their repertoire. No matter how you look at it, I don't think one person can eat this much. But let's just leave it at that for now. It didn't feel relaxing in here at all. Probably because the fervor inside the restaurant was clearly abnormal. All the other booth seats were crammed with groups of 4. Sleazy men were gorging like pigs on cutely decorated desserts, and it wouldn't have been surprised if they started licking the plates. It was more than a little unsettling. It piqued my interest, so I started listening in on their conversation, and what things I heard. Angel Mort so more. Me? I bought my tickets for 70k on redacted auctions. I told Swerk that I was attending a relative's funeral. The uniforms here are the greatest. I wonder if the waitresses would wipe it off for me if I spilled some water on my pants, right? Meow. Meow meow. I heard they're planning on selling Angel Mort figures. We'll have to pay heed at the next Wonder Festival. They sell used Angel Mort uniforms on the 4th floor of Redacted in Akiba. They cost 280k. Holy shit. How much is that? How much is 28k? Jesus Christ. That's like 2,000 euro. Holy hell. Yeah, the customers are very, very normal indeed. Yeah, about that. It's an absurd price. Animal cost 80k. When Pro Bar closed down, the going rate for theirs was 12,000. That's the price for used ones. Knockoffs are less than half of that. A knockoff from Redacted is fine with me. I wonder if they'll start selling them. Then I'll put on mine life-size figures I did buy of Redacted for several thousand, 100,000. If I can wake up every day to an angel from Angel, that'll really get my gears going. I didn't account for that. Still, it should be quite an amount. Inflation is hard to do. The words spilling out of their mouths were pretty much all incomprehensible jargon, but they still keenly conveyed that hidden behind them was an invisible aura of abnormality. Sorry to keep you waiting. The next dessert is tropical cinnamon love affair. Is something the matter? No. It's kind of different inside the restaurant today. Our restaurant is pretty famous in their circles. Well, we're aiming for that, so it's all well and good. But during festas they are something of a more the more hardcore crowd, so it can be a handful. Star. Can't do a. How do you do a star with just your two hands? I don't know. The waitress informed me quietly with a wry smile. The customers seem rather riled up, almost like a pack of hyenas. Seems a lot of the customers today came from unreasonably far away. Those types of people are fairly prone to losing their self-control, so it's a little scary. If you don't keep your guard up, something bad can happen. What did she mean by keep your guard up? At that moment, a large crash resounded through the room. I turned around, startled, to see that a waitress had fallen down and spilled the order she was carrying right onto a customer. Wait, isn't that Shion? I'm sorry. Your food is, Oh, what have you done? The jeans that I bought at a certain specialty shop for a whole 1.8k yen are so sticky with frosting. What the hell is that? For somebody who just met with a disaster, he seems awfully happy. How tragic. It seems that little Miss Waitress here will have to wipe it up from the bottom of her heart. Rip Shion. Yeah. She's done for. He has to wipe a disgusting little pig off. It's... Oh, what a horrible fate has befallen her. How tragic indeed. The conversation suddenly veered off in an odd direction. Lick the trousers. Hey, what did he say? Wipey, did he want Shion to wipe him down? Right over that obviously aberrant tent he had pitched over his... Oh, that's disgusting. Oh. Right over that obviously aberrant tent he had pitched over his crotch. But that is... Wipey. The wipey chant quickly spread throughout the room. Totally cornered, Shion went pale. She looked over to a more experienced waitress for help, but was only met with a head shaking out of pity. Sonosaki-san was strict. Customers who do that on purposely to get their clothes dirty, have been on the rise lately. I mean, who would do such a thing? Yeah. Get your clothes dirty on the regular. Oh. Ah, so you're saying she was stripped? Then what happened just now wasn't an accident, it was on purpose? The regular girls are careful about it, so they definitely won't end up like that. But Sonosaki-san was only a seasonal hire, so she had her guard down. Customers today could easily pick up on that, so she's been targeted since this morning. What's the manager doing? He should just kick those thugs out. We are in the service industry, so there's not much we can do about it. She laughed as she said that in a resigned tone. Shion trembled uncontrollably, with a dishcloth in her hands as she turned bright red. The man who had been doused in frosting splayed out on the bench, putting the cream-covered tent over his crutch on full display. How lovely of an image. Still mentally unprepared, her trembling hand inched forward, goaded on by onlookers. Come, come, come. Why did they have to use that word? It is time for the Vipey. From my male point of view, it might have been a ridiculous spectacle I could just smile wryly at, but from a... Oh, come on, we've gotta censor that. Just Jesus Christ, man. But from a woman's point of view, this was obviously pure humiliation. When I was trapped by those thugs and I had been paralyzed with fear, Shion fearlessly stood up to them and saved me. Still, as humiliating as it was, Shion was also partly to blame for this, and it wasn't as though her life was at stake, right? Even these guys, they were just going to jeer at her in a bit of a lewd situation. It's not like they were going to eat Shion alive or anything. It'd be alright if I just consoled her afterwards. Even I was scared. But Kei-chan was in trouble, so I had to be brave and do my best. Yeah, Cookie, you kinda gave yourself away now. You're busted. When I, a man, was being assailed by 3 thugs while paralyzed with fear, Shion saved me without a second thought. What about now? These sleazy, filthy degenerates were trying to pin the blame on Shion. This time our roles were reversed. Hey Keiichimabara, if you don't save her now, when will you be able to repay the debt you owe her? Oh, is he going to offer to wipe him down? Jesus Christ. That would be really quite something. Don't you like it when a man rubs you down just the right way? You scared Keiichimabara? At that time Mion didn't even show a hint of hesitation. Then what about now? I'm not hesitating. Then what? If you're not hesitating, then why aren't you helping her? Now resign yourself to your fate. I would definitely, if I felt like saving her, which, considering that she would have saved my life at that point, if I was in Keiichi's shoes, I would actually probably offer to wipe the guy myself off. Like, wipe him off by myself, because that would be an interesting... It would certainly elicit an interesting reaction out of them, so it would be rather interesting. Shut up, you greasy fat ass. Get out of here before I get angry. I grabbed Shion's shoulder firmly and pulled her behind me. Kei-chan? Yeah. I'm gonna do it slowly and firmly. It seems you don't understand. Yonder waitress was the one who wet my pants. This is her punishment. The one who needs punishing is you. Enough with the empty words. If you're a man, talk with your fists. Thud, smash. My body was lifted in the air like nothing. I was thrown back into my own seat. This guy is strong, no matter how you look at it. Athletic. And this Lardo aren't even in the same area code. Many otaku are unexpectedly well versed in some obscure martial art. Don't be underestimating us. The man smirked, showing off his gum line. Yeah, I have the power of anime on my side. Yeah. The power of anime on my side. K-chan, are you okay? Damn it, how lame must I look right now? You were tripped, weren't you, Shion? They are the ones who are in the wrong here, so you don't let them take advantage of you. That may be, but it was still my fault. Whoa! One more time, let's do it! What do we have here?
Don't fuck with me! I have the power of God and anime on my side!
Wait, yeah, exactly that. Don't fuck with me, I have the power of God and anime on my side. Exactly. Yeah, it's unlikely that they can be out-creeped. I would agree with that. Although, if you made some proposals to them, like really erotic proposals and obviously homosexual proposals, I think they would be at the very least off-put by that. At the very least, I think I could do it. Snapshot crash. Don't you go thinking that this is enough to make me give up. One more time. Ho ho ho, you're all talk. I'm not done yet. Rise my will to fight. Not just running, I planted every one of my steps firmly as I closed the distance to the large ball. Each time I ripped my foot off the floor, I could feel my burning spirit flare up from the point of impact. Zavarudo! Everything slowed down like I was walking in underwater. As I stepped forward in that viscous flow of time, I calmly measured the gap between us. Without difference in height, reach was my ultimate advantage. There was an ever so tiny distance between us where only my punch would be able to reach. Yeah, Keiji just got beat up by a fat, creepy otaku. Yes, how humiliating. I unleashed my iron fist of righteous anger, but it flew towards his face slowly, like I was punching underwater. Reacting to that, with a smirk on his face, the fatso easily slipped inside of my punch. I hadn't realized it until now, but in this mired time, I was able to observe his baffling counterattack with almost painful clarity. His arm slowly swung around in a large windmill motion, wrapped around my whiffed punch, and descended in an arc. That arm swung around like the arms of a clock, and then came into contact with my head, twisting my upper body around. Dragging my head along, he followed through with another rotation. This time he rotated his entire body like a top, followed by another rotation. Combining defense and offense, it was a brilliant counter. That's right, 3 times. I was thrown after 3 rotations, I think. In this viscous region of time I was unable to struggle. I could only wait dumbstruck until the moment I was thrown. The moment that sluggish temporal anomaly abruptly ended. Crash. You lack the training, young man. I was loath to admit, but against somebody trained in martial arts, I couldn't win through sheer force of will alone. Maybe he's behind Oyashiro curse. What a twist! After my consciousness faded in a wave of dizziness, when I came to, I was lying down in my own seat. Thankfully you weren't injured. The more experienced waitress from before wiped the sweat from my brow with a towel. While she was doing that, a red-faced and tear-eyed Shion trudged over. Are you okay? Doing that all for my sake. I'm sorry. I'm sorry too, I wasn't much help. I've never won a fight before. No, you just trying to help made me happy. It's a dating sim. Just completely innocent and pure-hearted dating sim with nothing bad happening in it whatsoever. Right, guys? I'm not joking. It's just that I was thinking that it was lucky Kei-chan came here today. As she said that she stuck her tongue out teasingly. She wiped off the white whipped cream with the washcloth she was holding in her hands. Sonosaki-san, you can take your break now. You still have 1 or 2 more hours left, don't you? Oh no, it's fine. Even though it's just part-time, it's still a paying job. I want to work properly while I'm on the clock. So really, you don't have to worry about me. She couldn't even put up a brave front. I would never think for a second that Mion could be that weak. This was Shion and she had been harassed by some unreasonable riffraff. That was reality. Kei-chan, don't mind me. Please eat as much dessert as you can. When you're done, we'll have you fill out a survey. Well then, I've got to go get back up to the floor. After some consoling words and a sympathetic smile to Shion, the other waitresses started to head back to work. That's where I stopped her. Excuse me, could I borrow your phone? Phone? It's by the register. I'll show you where. I pulled a 10 yen coin from my wallet. This wasn't about saving face. My being a worthless coward was an unchangeable fact, but I could just cry myself to sleep about that later tonight. Now was not the time for tears. I had to fight. If I recall, 1 ticket is good for up to 4 people, right? Is it alright if I call over 3 more people? Yes, that's fine. For the time being, I'll write them down on the guest list. Could I have their names? I turned around and glared at the greasy hooligan who subjected Shion to that humiliation. There are 3 things that aren't working in your favor today, punk. First is that I owe Shion. Oh. Really? A cameo? Oh, that's not even that. He isn't even that bad looking, all things considered. He could look far more disgusting. Second is that I am a man who's not afraid to throw away his pride to win. And the third is that we are the most powerful club members in history. Please add Rena Ryugu, Satako Hojo, and Rika Furude to the guest list. Understood, I'll do that. I'll have the best and most powerful club members to join the fray. They can bring down 1,000 foes. You fat asses. Prepare to meet your maker. This is a nice restaurant. Oh, the uniforms are so cute. Rena wants to wear them too. Oh. On top of that, we're being treated to dessert. I'm deeply moved. Yeah, eat as much as you like. Don't worry about my share. Keiichi-san, enough with the charades. Let's get to the point. Rena and Rika-chan put down their forks when Satoko approached the subject. After looking at them for a few moments, I pressed my forehead firmly onto the table. I beg of you, I don't care if you make fun of how pathetic I am. Please lend me your strength. The 3 of them seemed surprised by the sudden turn of events, but nevertheless listened to what I had to say without making fun of my unusual behavior. What's the matter? Something happened, didn't it? Actually, Mion's younger sister Shion is working part-time at this restaurant. Ah, that little sister you were talking about, right? Could it be her, could it? She resembles her. Resembles? That's just Mion with her hair down, isn't it? Ugh, I didn't know what to say. If Keiichi-san says that's Shion, then that's Shion. They might be twins, but can't they really look that much alike? They're called monozygotic twins. They really can look identical. Then I gave the most plausible explanation so everybody else was convinced. Zygotic. Zygotic? I don't know how to pronounce that word. Well then, do you believe me? I'll get to the point then. I recounted everything that had just happened. How Shion was targeted, how she was antagonized by the customer, and how the humiliation that was forced upon her. And how incredibly pathetic I was. I included everything without trying to hide it. That's awful, poor Shi-chan. However, for you to be unable to help her, there should be a limit to how unsightly you can be. There's nothing I can say to that. Satoko-chan, to admit that you lost and seek help is a very difficult thing to do. Keiichi-kun chose to help Shi-chan rather than save his pride. So pathetic. Rena's follow-up stung a bit, but I could only be thankful that she understood. Satoko was calling me all sorts of names, but there was no malign intentions behind her words. Then, what should we do? Her voice was monotone, but there was a hint of resolve in her words. I replied to Rika-chan's suggestive silence in kind with my own quiet resolve. Well, I thought it would be something like that. It is a bit much for Keiichi-san to handle alone. Huh? Then you'll help? Of course, Keiichi-kun. We'll help anybody who's being bullied. I remembered when I was cornered by those thugs. What Shion had said about the strong feeling of solidarity in Hinamizawa really began to hit home. However, Keiichi Maebara, now is not the time to get choked up with tears of gratitude. Now is the time to fight. Sorry, I owe you one. You tried your best, but you didn't stand a chance alone. How sad, how sad. Rika-chan gently patted my head for me. But there was no mindless pity in the palm of that hand. It was overflowing with strong, dependable feeling of leave the rest to us. Leaving something like beating a little bully up for 3 girls. That's rather pathetic. Mion can join us due to various circumstances, so I'll temporarily be taking command. Our strategy will revolve around Shion's defense and the extermination of the enemy's combat capability. Who's the enemy? Are there a lot of them? And Rena pulls out an axe. I'll kill them all! From this point forward, anybody who messes with Shion shall be considered an enemy combatant. There are no rules of engagement. Compensation will be the dessert you just ate. Any questions? Everybody had already entered club mode, their eyes peering at the riffraff clamoring around inside the restaurant like predators, stalking their prey from the darkness. Okay, this is actually pretty hilarious. Rika-chan held up her hand. What is it, Rika-chan? Do we have to show mercy? Of course we don't have to. We have no need to show mercy to the rabble that would dare lay a finger on Mion's little sister. Then it's okay, Keiichi. Rika-chan was serious. She was really ready to pretty much murder us. With this game it's not even that fun. It's pretty hilarious that they are even joking about that. You know, happy headbutts. Happy headbutts. Nothing more than headbutts. I'm counting on you, Rika-chan. I, Keiichi Maebara, shall assume all responsibility. Root them. Alrighty. Rena's going to do her best too. Sorry. Please do. Oh, that's adorable. I'd murder for that as well. That is so freaking cute. That's definitely worth, like, maybe 5 murders? 7? 8? I don't know. That was, by the way, Rika-chan in an Angel Morph costume, so I'm not gonna show that on stream. That could get banned! Kei-chan, you don't have to be so tense. Well, just wait and see. By the time you finish that buffet, we'll have finished cleaning up too. Well then, everyone, let's give it our all. Go for it, yay! Yay! Thus the most powerful warband the world had ever known, trained by Mion, began to move. I was the oldest, the only boy, and behaved like the leader, but when you consider our club activities, I was by far the most junior member. Individually, everyone besides me had terrifying combat capabilities. If all of them combined their strength to protect Shion, I couldn't even imagine. I was probably about to witness something terrible and awe-inspiring. Tonoseki-san, 5 deluxe buffet for table 7. Ah, sure thing. Shion carried the order to the tables. For Shion to carry all 5 buffets without wobbling took so much effort that she didn't have the breathing room to pay attention to her feet. Comrades, here she comes yet again. This time we'll have her spill everything on my pants and have her wipe right down to my underwear. It was the same wipey scheme that had occurred just a short time earlier. This time another one of them was trying it out for himself. The depravity of these men was itself a full-out attack. Rena, this is Keiichi. Ambush them around tables 5 and 6. Rena, do you copy? The restaurant's uniforms, so cute, oh I wanna take them home. Shion, her bottom swaying while carrying the buffets, was being chased by an equally swaying Rena. Rena was supposed to be escorting Shion, but Rena was instead transfixed by the back of her uniform. From a normal person's point of view, it was probably like having a fox guard a hen house, but when it comes to Rena, things are different. Yeah. Cute mode, 120% synchronization. We have won. When Rena's in that state, even the laws of physics don't apply. Shion's legs unsteady and defenseless were being targeted by those sleazebags. Now, my comrades. Heil mein Führer! Oh my god, I should have read that out in my mind first. Oh god, I hope I'm not getting banned for that. Shining Lucifer of the Harumi Mecha. A leg snaked out to trip Shion's defenseless feet. Yeah, it's 3 of them at once. Tap tap tap. Good. Well, it happened in an instant. The 3 fools writhed in pain as their legs bent at unnatural angles. Ah, what is this madness? Rena teetered into view and gave them a warning. Oh, no mischief, okay? No means no, no! Rena's going to be the one to take her home. This girl, what's with that strange technique? The human scum clutched at their bruised ankles as they passed out. Oh, what is this? Oh! That's lovely. I don't even recognize it. Is that actually Rena? Is that Rena? That can't be Rena. There's no way. Who is that? What the hell? It looks a bit like Rena. Holy hell, that's scary. That gets you. Oh, that's disgusting, man. That's our Rena-san. No matter how many times I see it, it is always frighteningly quick. Yeah, it's an unbreakable barrier. Anyone within 2-meter radius who attacks Shion is completely obliterated by Rena. As Shion was making her rounds through the restaurant, there were people here and there collapsing with welts on their legs or hands. Oh, Keiichi-kun, this is Rena. There's nobody left that'll bother Shi-chan. So I'm going to take her home now. Rena, this is Keiichi. Good work. Please continue the mission. Also, permission to take home denied. I repeat, permission to take home denied. Then I'll just look home. Oh, okay. Did I actually do the OVA seasons? I don't think I did, actually. I should probably do them at some point. There's so many side series for the side shows for the or whatever OVAs for a lot of the shows that I've done that I've missed. Like, for example, Psycho-Pass is one. Yeah, I haven't watched them either, so I should probably do them at some point. Like with Psychopaths, I have missed that movie. I should do that as well. Okay. Well, if they are not that good, then I really have very little time, so maybe I shouldn't be like using it, spending it on them. I guess just looking is fine. That wouldn't prevent her from guarding Shion, so I guess it's okay. Anyway, thanks to this I knew who had tried to mess with Shion. Anybody who was clutching at their arm or leg while they were writhing in agony was basically branded by their bruises. Currently we have finished identifying all enemy forces. Proceeding to the next phase. Satoko, this is Keiichi. What's your status? This is Satoko. That's a rude way to ask. Keiichi-san, who exactly do you think I am? Satoko was in the kitchen. She had spread open a sketch of the restaurant on the counter, replete with ordered chits and their destinations, and I was sorting through the freshly made desserts. Well, that explains why they are not perhaps that good. I'm much more for serious stuff, so yeah. Hey, what are you doing? Now, Sonosuke-san, it's alright, just leave it to her. More importantly, we're taking all these orders out at once, so I'm counting on you. The veteran waitress was briskly directing her juniors as the trays went out one after another. All the desserts that had passed through Satoko's hands were delivered at once. Oh, lots of cute desserts are coming. Oh. I think you know this, but don't touch them. At least if you still value your life. I know, but... Certainly they were all incredibly cute looking desserts. They were all of works of art that you could enjoy before even taking your first bite. However, since Satoko had meddled with them, they were nothing more than an unpredictable danger. Blissfully ignorant of that fact, they were the men now stuffing their faces. This is... Almost right away they realized that something was wrong. Satoko, what did you mix in there? It couldn't have been salt or Tabasco, right? My, what are you saying, Keiichi-san? You said no mercy. I might not look like it, but when I get down to business, I like to be very thorough. As she said that, she twirled a dubious file in her fingers before putting it away smartly into her pouch. Rika, this is Satoko. The customers are moving. Escort duty is all yours. Leave it to me. Come to think of it, I didn't see Rika-chan anywhere. Where could she be lurking? Clatter, clatter. Several men stood up suddenly from their seats, surveying the restaurant for something. That restless fidgeting. And that look of relief when they found a single placard hanging from the ceiling. Written on that placard was the word restroom. They began a mad rush in that direction. It wasn't just one or two people. All the people that were branded as the enemy were standing up from their seats while clutching their stomachs. Oh, Jesus Christ, Satoko actually poisoned them. How merciless. That's... Like, did she give them laxatives or something? Oh, I think I was a little too greedy. Where's the washroom? Me too. Not number 1, but number 2. I need to cash out meow. Where's the toilet? I found it. You're in for it now. You're in for it now. Oh! Oh, God. That pun. I felt dirty just thinking about what Satoko probably did to their desserts. The problem was how to follow this up. I was intrigued, so I followed the rush of men to the washroom. The narrow hallway connecting the restroom was crowded with about 10 men. What is this? As I peered over to see what was happening, whoa. It seemed that the toilet was clogged and black backflowing unleashed a loud gurgling sound and a terrible stench. I expected as much, actually. There was no way to use it in this state. Damn that Satoko, what a frightening display of power. No, this wasn't Satoko's doing. It was divine punishment. Yeah, they were just unlucky. I'll just apologetically ask one of the employees here to clean it up. I can't do my business like this. Arg. What do we do, meow, comrades? It was a brilliant combination of traps, but it could be better if there were one more to push that push to the kicker. Seeing as it was Satoko, she wouldn't have overlooked that. Now this has come to this, it's time for the last resort. Faced with moral dilemma, that man only had one other option. Women's restroom. Isn't using the girls' room going to get us into trouble? I'm pretty sure there's no female customers today. Why didn't I think of that before? Women's toilets are the best. What a brazen bunch they are. The men's sweat now pouring from their brows made a mad rush to the girls' room without any hesitation. Me? Ah, there was a girl there. It was Rika-chan. The men stood there, frozen in various complicated poses indicating their surprise. Rika-chan also seemed undumbfounded by the sudden turn of events. But the look on her face was strangely perfect. This was all a part of her plan as well. You sly dog, Rika-chan, I should never underestimate you. This is, you see, mademoiselle. Me? The men's room is a bit dangerous at the moment, so we just want to borrow the toilet here, right? Meow. Me? But I guess it's not right after all, right, my comrades? Just by having a girl stand there in the restroom, I never knew it could put up such an overwhelming barrier. There was no way anybody could be brave enough to lift Rika-chan out of the way to try and do their business. This was the most they could do after all. If it were a man in full club mode, for example, someone like me, they would plow through Rika-chan without a second thought. Now what are you going to do, you fat asses? The price for tormenting Shion still hasn't been paid. If you're in trouble, I can help you. That would be much appreciated. How would you do that? We have another picture. Oh, Jesus Christ. That looks painful as hell. That looks really painful. You can use one of the toilets outside. I'll show you to them. That would be perfect. Please, please. At this rate, it'll end up becoming a group enema prey. Rika-chan, with a pleasant smile on her face, guided them with a casual stride in her step. In this race against time, her slow pace was sadistic torture. Mademoiselle, is this toilet far from here? We'll get there soon. Obeying Rika-chan's directions, they were about to leave the restaurant. Keiichi-kun, finish it. Give him hell. Yeah, leave it to me. I spread my arms out and blocked them as they tried to leave the restaurant. What is the meaning of this? We're at DEFCON 1 here. Listen up, you tubs of lard. You know what happens if you even set one foot outside of this door, right? What is the meaning of this preposterous statement? Look, it's written right here on the ticket. Not valid for re-entry, see? You're free to use any toilet you want, but the moment you step outside that door, you can't come back. Boom! You remember this? I don't want to guide anybody who says scary things like that. Everybody panicked as Rika-chan began to turn back. They could only figuratively and literally fall in line. All the waitresses also lined up to see them off. Thank you very much for coming! We shall return! Clang clang. The bell rang playfully as the door shut behind them. How pathetic, too easy. Ha, we did it, yay! Rena and Satoko clapped their hands together. I couldn't hold a candle to those guys by myself, but when we got the group together, we sent them packing like a herd of cattle. With opponents this week, any of us could take them on by ourselves. Keiichi-kun, you need to up your game. I was loath to admit it, but Satoko was right. Damn it, one day I'll be strong enough to be worthy to stand alongside them. But I'm really glad we were able to protect Mii-chan's little sister. Now there's none of those bad people who were pulling pranks left. You're blessed to have such wonderful friends, Sonzeki-san. The veteran waitress was also smiling. After the herd was sent packing, it had calmed down completely inside, the restaurant. Shion was flustered as she glanced between us and the now empty seats. You did that for me? I mean... Shion's expression was somehow between happy and guilt-ridden. Her face turned slightly red as she ran into the kitchen. Wow, Shi-chan is cute. They really are twins, oh. Given Shion's personality, there's no way she'd thank us directly. We might have been a bit excessive in our means, but I'm really glad we were able to save her. Okay. I'll probably finish the stream anyways, like really soon. Okay. That's a pretty cool mahjong game. That's pretty cool mahjong game. But I think now's a good point to end the stream anyways, so... I think now's a pretty good point to end anyways, because I'm getting really tired. It's already been 6.5 hours, pretty much on the dot, so yeah. And it's